the prime minister shall be appointed by the president and the other ministers shall be appointed by the president on the advice of prime ministers. Okay. Hello aspirants, good morning. Now we will see the Council of Ministers part. Okay. So let's read about it. How Council of Ministers constituted, okay? We'll see this one. In this, Council of Ministers is the highest decision-making body in the government, okay? And that is headed by the Prime Minister. According to the 91st Constitutional Amendment Act of 2003, the total number of ministers, including the Prime Minister, in the Central Council of Ministers shall not exceed 15% of the total strength of the Lok Sabha. Okay? Council of Ministers shall not exceed the strength, like not extend the 15% of the total strength of Lok Sabha. So this is the point. The Council of Ministers is divided into following levels, like three main parts. First is ministers. Ministers are responsible for heading the ministers and departments of central government. Okay, ministers that heads the ministries, different ministries. After that, we have ministers of state. Ministers of state are those who may be given the independent charge. Okay, this is asked in the UPSC, in the prelims. Okay, in the MCQ part, you will see. So we will remember the minister of states who have given the independent charge of specific departments and may assist they may assist our cabinet ministers. Okay, and the third one is deputy ministers. Deputy minister assist both cabinet ministers and ministers of state in the administrative, political and parliamentary duties. Okay. This one you will remember. Ministers are the important. After that, deputy ministers. Additionally, the prime minister may suggest appointing a deputy prime minister. It's usually for the political reasons only. After that, cabinet minister, being a part of the council of ministers, hold major ministries such as home ministries, defense ministries and finance ministries. After that, we will see what are the constitutional provisions pertaining to the Council of Ministers in India. Okay, here we will see the articles that are related in the Council of Ministers. Okay, there shall be a Council of Ministers with the Prime Minister at the head to aid and advise the President. Prime Minister will aid and advise the President. It is not compulsion. Okay, Prime Minister can aid and advise only. Who shall in the exercise of his functions act in accordance with such advice. Advice tendered by ministers to the president shall not be inquired in any court. Okay, that shall not be asked in any court of law. Okay. After that, in Article 75, overall these are the like description of this Article 75. Here, the Prime Minister shall be appointed by the President and the other ministers shall be appointed by the President on the advice of Prime Ministers. Okay? After that, the ministers shall hold office during the pleasure of the President. Whatever ministers are there, they can hold office during the pleasure of the President, not the Prime Minister. Here we will see all the things in the name of the President only, but in practical, Prime Minister comes into the play. Okay. The Council of Ministers shall be collectively responsible to the House of the People, that is Lok Sabha. After that, before a minister enters his office, the President shall administer the oath and office. Okay, oath and secrecy जो होती है, oath and secrecy. That's we have already read in the third schedule. Okay, that will be taken by the president only. Okay, in the presence of president we take the oath and all, according to the form states in the third schedule. Here you can see, after that, a minister who for any period of 6 consecutive months is not a member of either of the house like either Lok Sabha or the Rajya Sabha, president shall at the expiration of that period cease to be a minister. Okay, he can't be a minister if he is not the member of either of the house of Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha for at least 6 months. Now the salaries and allowances of ministers, that shall be, Parliament may from time to time by law also determine like what is the salaries and allowances for the ministers, deputy ministers and all. Okay, and this is mentioned in the second schedule. Okay, now see the next slide. Under Article 77, all the executive action of the Government of India shall be expressed in the name of the President. This we know, we have already read this. Okay, after that, orders and other instruments that are made under the Article 77. Okay. Overall, after that, Article 78, it shall be a duty of the Prime Minister to communicate to the President all decisions of the Council of Ministers relating to the administration of the affairs of the Union and the proposals for legislation. Okay, it shall be a duty of Prime Minister to tell the President. Whatever be the decisions of Councils of Ministers, these are like the main part. Prime Minister will head this Council of Ministers. Okay. After that, it shall be a duty of the Prime Minister to furnish such information relating to the administration of affairs of the Union and proposals for legislation as the President may call for. Okay. It shall be the duty of Prime Minister, if the President so requires, to submit for the consideration of COM on the matters of which decision has been taken by the Minister but which has not been considered by the Council. Not been considered by the Council of Ministers. Okay, in under Article 88, every minister shall have the right to speak. Council of Ministers have the right to speak and otherwise to take part in the proceedings of either. They can take part in the proceedings of either of the house. Any joint sitting of the house, they can take part in the joint sitting of the houses also, and any committees of the parliament of which he may be named a member. He may be a member of that committee or he may not be, but he can sit in those proceedings of joint sitting also, and he has the right to speak also. After that, this is the oath and salary of minister. As we have seen, oath, the President will administer the oath of the office and secrecy to the ministers. Okay. Now to bear the true faith and allegiance to the Constitution of India. This is applicable for all the constitutional posts. To uphold the sovereignty and integrity of India, to faithfully and conscientiously discharge the duties of his office, okay, to do right to all manner of people in accordance with the Constitution and the law, without fear and favor, affection or ill will, okay. And this is the salary, that compensation for ministers, including salaries and benefits established by the Parliament, and it includes the same pay and perks as for the members of the Parliament, as well as additional privileges such as sumptuary allowances, free accommodation, travelling allowances and medical facilities. So, what are the various responsibilities of Council of Ministers? Council of Ministers is mainly known for this word, that is collective responsibility. They took the collective responsibilities. Okay. The principle of collective responsibility is a cornerstone of the parliamentary system of government, as mentioned in the under Article 75. This principle holds that all members of the Council of Ministers are jointly responsible to the Lok Sabha, meaning they must work as a team and they take responsibility for their action as a group. You can use these lines in your mains questions. Okay. After that, when the Lok Sabha passes a motion of no confidence against the Council of Ministers, all the members of Council must resign, including those from the Rajya Sabha also. Okay. Additionally, the principle of collective responsibility also means that the cabinet ministers as well as the other ministers are bound by the decision made by the cabinet. Okay. All as a team, they are bound by the decision, whatever is made by our cabinet ministers. Even if they disagree with them during the cabinet meetings, because they are all the part of the Council of Ministers. Now the individual responsibility. In addition to the principle of collective responsibility, Article 75 also includes the principle of individual responsibility. That is, ministers serve at the pleasure of the President and can be removed by the President at any time, regardless of whether the Council of Ministers has the confidence of the Lok Sabha. Okay. Even if they have the confidence of the Lok Sabha, they can be removed and they can serve during the pleasure of the President only. They can be removed by the President only and they are serving because of the pleasure of the President only. However, such removal would only occur on the advice of Prime Minister if the Prime Minister has a difference of opinion. Yeah, Prime Minister will comes into play. Like if the PM has a difference of opinion or is unhappy with the minister's performance, he or she can request the resignation of the ministers or advise the President to dismiss him. He will advise if he is not happy with those ministers. Okay. Now we will see what is the significance of Council of Ministers in the parliamentary democracy. Significance of Council of Ministers in a parliamentary democracy can be analyzed through several key areas. That is policy making. The Council of Ministers plays a crucial role in setting policy priorities and making major policy decisions. It acts as the primary decision-making body of the government, responsible for determining the direction and priorities of the government policies. Okay. After that, they have the significance of implementation also. The Council of Ministers ensures that government policies are implemented effectively. This includes allocating resources, supervising the work of the government departments, and monitoring the progress. After that, they have the significance of leadership. The Council of Ministers provides leadership and direction to the government. Yeah. It is led by the Prime Ministers who acts as the head of the government and provides overall direction and guidance to the Council of Ministers. Okay. Council of Ministers is like, they provide leadership. If in the Council of Ministers, some good ministers are there, okay, like we have a good, like someone who has good policy making intellect and all, they can legislate the appropriate schemes and policies in the government. Just now you can see the current government, they have a effective Council of Ministers. Okay. In the accountability part, Council of Ministers is accountable to the Parliament. Okay. Prime Minister is responsible to the Parliament. COM is accountable to the Parliament. PM is responsible to the Parliament. Okay, the Council of Ministers is required to answer questions from members from MPs and to present its policies and legislation for approval. Now, the last part that is significance is the confidence of the Parliament lies in the Council of Ministers that is headed by the PM. Council of Ministers must maintain the confidence of the Parliament, which it does by presenting the government policies and legislation for approval and by answering questions from MPs. Okay, they will implement a good government policies and legislation in the Lok Sabha and the Raj Sabha. Okay, that must be approved by answering questions from the MPs. Okay.